In today's world, there is a common misconception about wisdom. Many people believe that wisdom is simply a result of having more knowledge, equating intelligence with wisdom. However, this is not always the case. While knowledge certainly plays a role in gaining wisdom, it is not the sole factor. Wisdom goes beyond just knowing facts and information. It is about the ability to apply knowledge appropriately and understanding what truly matters in life. For example, knowing that a tomato is a fruit is a piece of knowledge, but the wisdom lies in understanding that tomatoes should not be included in a fruit salad. In the Buddhist perspective, wisdom is the ability to discern between good and bad, to understand what brings happiness to oneself and others, and to act in a way that promotes well-being. Wisdom also involves recognizing the impermanence of life and accepting the reality that everything changes. Thus, wisdom is not merely a matter of accumulating knowledge, but of using that knowledge to navigate life in a meaningful and beneficial way. This deeper understanding of wisdom helps individuals grow spiritually, and through this, they can find peace and enlightenment. Wisdom and knowledge are often mistakenly seen as the same thing, but they are not synonymous. While knowledge is certainly powerful and provides a better understanding of the world, it does not automatically equate to wisdom. Knowledge involves facts and information, whereas wisdom is the ability to apply that knowledge in a meaningful way. For example, understanding that a tomato is scientifically classified as a fruit is a piece of knowledge, but the wisdom lies in knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. This illustrates the distinction between knowing something and having the discernment to use that knowledge appropriately. In Buddhist teachings, wisdom is not simply about accumulating information, but about understanding the nature of life, recognizing what leads to happiness and suffering, and acting in alignment with that understanding. Wisdom is the ability to make decisions based on clarity, mindfulness, and compassion. Buddha emphasized that wisdom arises when we truly grasp the impermanence of life and can see things as they are, without attachment or illusion. In essence, wisdom is the practical application of knowledge, cultivated through mindfulness, self-awareness, and an understanding of the world's true nature. It is this deeper wisdom that ultimately leads to peace and enlightenment. Wisdom, according to Buddhist teachings, is the ability to understand the difference between good and bad, and to recognize what brings happiness to oneself and others. It involves making decisions that are not only beneficial for oneself, but also considerate of others' well-being. True wisdom is deeply rooted in understanding the impermanence of life, the constant cycle of birth and decay, and the inevitable changes that come with time. Buddha emphasized that understanding this impermanence is essential for developing wisdom. When one recognizes the transient nature of all things, they can approach life with a clearer perspective and a calmer heart. Wisdom also means acting in ways that promote harmony and reduce suffering, both for oneself and for others. It is the ability to discern what actions lead to peace and fulfillment, and which ones cause pain or dissatisfaction. Buddha's teachings emphasize that wisdom is not simply about intellectual understanding, but about cultivating a deep, experiential insight into the nature of reality. By understanding the true nature of life and developing compassion, one can attain wisdom that leads to a life of peace, understanding, and spiritual growth. Wisdom, thus, is the foundation for achieving lasting happiness and enlightenment. According to Buddhist teachings, wisdom is developed through 4 essential practices. The first practice is associating with wise individuals. Buddha emphasized the importance of being around those who are morally and intellectually superior, as they inspire and guide us to follow the right path. It is said that we are influenced by the 5 closest people in our lives, and their qualities shape us. Therefore, cultivating relationships with those who possess wisdom, kindness, and integrity is vital for our personal growth. The second practice is listening to good teachings. Buddha encouraged his followers to listen to the teachings of Dharma, as these teachings are the foundation for wisdom. By reflecting on these teachings, one can gain insight into the true nature of life and deepen their understanding. The third practice involves proper attention. When listening to teachings or practicing mindfulness, it is important to pay full attention. This focused attention helps in absorbing the essence of the teachings and applying them effectively in our lives. Finally, practicing the teachings is crucial. Wisdom is not gained solely through intellectual understanding, but through putting the teachings into practice. By living according to Buddha's guidance, we can cultivate wisdom and achieve spiritual progress. These 4 practices help us develop wisdom on the path to enlightenment. In Buddhism, wisdom is considered a crucial aspect of personal growth and spiritual development. However, wisdom is not simply about acquiring more knowledge. Buddha's teachings emphasize that wisdom goes beyond understanding facts or information. It is about applying that knowledge in a meaningful way that leads to the cessation of suffering and the attainment of peace. Buddha explained that wisdom is the ability to understand the nature of life, especially the concepts of impermanence, suffering, and the interdependence of all things. The essence of wisdom, as Buddha taught, is the deep understanding of the arising and cessation of all phenomena, and how this understanding leads to freedom from suffering. Buddha's teachings on wisdom focus on the impermanence of life, acknowledging that everything in existence is subject to change, decay, and eventual disappearance. This realization is central to Buddhist wisdom, as it helps individuals detach from attachments and desires, which are the root causes of suffering. By accepting the transient nature of life, one can live with greater mindfulness and tranquility, understanding that all things, both good and bad, will eventually pass. One of the key aspects of wisdom in Buddhism is the ability to distinguish between what brings true happiness and what leads to suffering. Buddha taught that wisdom is not only about intellectual knowledge, but also about knowing how to act in ways that promote well-being for oneself and others. This understanding requires deep introspection and the cultivation of qualities like compassion, patience, and self-awareness. Wisdom involves making decisions that are rooted in kindness and understanding, and that contribute to the welfare of all beings. To develop wisdom, Buddha outlined several important practices. First, he emphasized the importance of associating with wise people. Buddha taught that the company we keep significantly influences our thoughts, behavior, and spiritual progress. Therefore, surrounding ourselves with individuals who possess wisdom, integrity, and compassion is essential for our own growth. Such people inspire us to follow the right path and help guide us through challenging situations. Buddha said that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with, so it is crucial to choose our companions wisely. Second, Buddha stressed the importance of listening to good teachings. He encouraged his followers to learn from the teachings of the Dharma, which provide guidance on how to live a life of wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness. Listening to and reflecting on these teachings helps individuals develop a deeper understanding of the nature of existence. By contemplating these teachings, one can gain insight into the impermanent and interconnected nature of life, and this wisdom leads to greater peace and fulfillment. Third, proper attention is an essential component of developing wisdom. Buddha taught that when learning or practicing the teachings, it is crucial to give full attention to what is being taught. This means not only listening with the ears, but also paying attention with the heart and mind. Proper attention allows one to absorb the true meaning of the teachings and apply them effectively in everyday life. Finally, Buddha emphasized the importance of practicing the teachings. Wisdom is not merely theoretical, it must be lived and embodied. Buddha encouraged his followers to follow the path of Dharma and put his teachings into action. Through meditation, mindfulness, and ethical living, individuals can cultivate wisdom and make it a part of their daily lives. Practice is the key to transforming knowledge into wisdom. In conclusion, wisdom in Buddhism is more than just acquiring knowledge. It is about understanding the nature of life and using that understanding to alleviate suffering and promote happiness. Through associating with wise individuals, listening to good teachings, giving proper attention, and putting the teachings into practice, individuals can develop wisdom and lead a life of peace, compassion, and enlightenment. Wisdom is a continuous journey of growth and transformation, and it is through this journey that one can achieve the ultimate goal of Buddhism, the cessation of suffering and the attainment of nirvana. Tumini. In Buddhism, relationships are seen as more than just connections between individuals. They are viewed as karmic bonds that offer opportunities for self-discovery and growth. Buddha taught that every relationship, whether easy or difficult, serves a purpose in helping us learn about ourselves and overcome past karmic imprints. Interactions with others are not random, but reflect the results of past actions and decisions. They provide a mirror for us to understand our own behaviors, thoughts, and emotions. These relationships help us confront fears, insecurities, and attachments, which are essential for spiritual growth. Buddhism also emphasizes the impermanence of relationships, encouraging individuals to let go of attachments and embrace the present moment. This understanding allows one to experience relationships without clinging to them or being overly dependent on them for happiness. The goal is to practice mindfulness, compassion, and forgiveness in relationships, seeing each interaction as an opportunity for learning and personal growth. By embracing the impermanent nature of relationships, individuals can develop a deeper sense of peace, understanding, and emotional resilience. Ultimately, every relationship, whether challenging or harmonious, is a tool for spiritual awakening and self-improvement. One of the most profound lessons from Buddhism is that every relationship in our lives has a purpose, offering us a chance to grow and learn. Whether our relationships are easy or challenging, they serve as mirrors that reflect our inner selves, helping us understand our behaviors, thoughts, and emotions. The key to finding peace in relationships is accepting their impermanent nature. Nothing lasts forever, and by embracing this, we can learn to live in the present moment without clinging to past grievances or unrealistic expectations. For older adults, this lesson is especially valuable. As we age, our relationships inevitably change, and sometimes we face loss or the evolution of friendships and family bonds. Rather than resisting these changes, we can practice mindfulness and compassion, letting go of attachments that cause suffering. The teachings of forgiveness and acceptance help us let go of old wounds, leading to emotional freedom. By nurturing relationships with kindness and understanding, we create a space for peace and joy in our lives. The lesson is clear. Relationships are not just about finding happiness in others, but about using them as tools for personal growth, healing, and ultimately, a peaceful heart.